So my name's Hannah Raven, and I'm based in Sydney, Australia. And I am an actor and a professional burlesque artist. I got into Poe about 25 years ago when I saw a production of Barry Kosky's The Telltale Heart. Those of you who don't know Barry Kosky, he's an opera director. He's quite controversial. And he did a production with a one-man Poe, a huge production in Australia. I think it was touring. And it took my breath away. I was like, oh my God, like, what is this story? Who is this character? What's going on? And then I went and bought a Poe book, and I was like, oh, I've found my Lord and Savior. So I was just absolutely obsessed with the work, the horror, the poetry. So yeah, that kind of just started this snowball effect. And then as a theatre maker, so I run my own company called Raven Productions Australia, and all our work is based on Poe. So we do burlesque shows based on Poe, so one-woman shows based on Poe. And so that's kind of where it came from. Being an actor, I was like, I want to create as much work as I can. And then Poe was such a muse and influence to me that the two of them just kind of molded together. And so, yeah, now everything I create is always influenced by Poe. Well, the main thing with working with Poe text is it's so vast. He wrote so many stories, so much poetry, and also essays and critiques. You know, his like literary career is extremely vast, which a lot of people don't know about. They just think, oh, he writes scary stories. It's like, no, he was a critic, a very harsh critic, and he wrote essays, and he just everything that he does is inspiring to me. And it also means when I go to create work, there is so much fodder to play with. So this labor of love for me took quite a few years to get off the ground. I started creating it during 2020, which we know was the time of COVID. So I had a theatre set up, and then everything closed. We went into lockdown. Then we went into lockdown the following year. And so all the plans I'd made to kind of get this show up and running just kept getting quashed, you know? And, there were times I was like, oh, well, just maybe it's just not meant to be. And I was like, nah, this is my passion project. I want to do it. And I mean, I love the story. I love the way it's written. I love that it's about psychological introspection. So we have someone talking to us saying, you think I'm mad. I'm not mad. I'm clear as day about everything I did. It was calculated. It was intelligent. It was the perfect crime. And so, but you're reading it going, oh, but the things you've done would indicate maybe you're a little unhinged. The fact that the narrator is never actually revealed in terms of gender. So me as a female identifying actor, I was like, I want to do this story and I want to play the character because nothing to say it's not a woman. And also during the time period it's written and what that person's job or their duties are for the old man, I was like, I feel like this is a caretaker or a maid or a matron of some kind. So I decided to play the character as a maid, like a chambermaid who was taking care of an elderly man. And from a female perspective, I wanted to make it a feminist story about a woman trapped by her circumstances, and that the reason she goes to commit this murder is because it's a form of vigilantism or revenge or escapism from her prison. The case of M. Valdemar, 100%. I love that story. It's one of my favorite Poe stories. And I'd love to play the hypnotist, the mesmeric individual. But then I'm like, how do I get a body to melt on stage? That's now the next, white whale, the challenge. I'd really like to tackle that somehow. I think it's really fascinating. So my production company is called Raven Productions Australia. So ravenproductionsaustralia.com is my main website. We're also on Instagram, Raven Productions Australia. I also run the Edgar Allan Poe Australia Society. So on Instagram, just Edgar Allan Poe Australia, and the same edgarallanpoeaustralia.com. So if you go to those, you can see all the work I've done. You can see what's also happening in Australia with Poe fans, because there are so many Poe fans over here, and we are probably the farthest away from where he lived and did his work. And that's what his reach has done. It's gone literally to the other side of the world.